Alright, now we're gonna start filming Transformers 5. We need more Decepticons. So, Megatron, check. Barricade, wait, didn't he die? Oh no, we never saw him like actually die on screen, so we'll just bring him back for no reason. Okay. What other Decepticons can we use? Can we use Shockwave? Yeah, he's dead, but sure, we'll reuse a model of Shockwave. So yeah, we'll just call him something else like Nitro or something. Okay, good. I guess we could also use some of the Dreads back. The Dreads are dead, but I guess we could reuse their models and call them different names. How about Hooligan or Berserker? How about Dreadbot? Yeah, no one will know that he's related to the Dreads. Perfect. I was thinking we could use Sideways back. He was so cool and handsome and fast and smart. And who wrote that on the script? Yeah, we cannot really use Sideways. We'll go with some more generic Decepticon. We'll call him Mohawk and have him get killed pretty early in the film. There, just like Sideways. I guess we could use a new character. Well, one new character. How about this character named Onslaught? He's the leader of the Combaticons. He can transform into Bruticus with the other Combaticons. He's a strategist and a master tactician. If we put him on the film, I guess the Autobots will really have a lot of trouble with him. Yeah, he sounds like a pretty cool character. Okay, we'll add him on the film just to get killed. Wait, what? Don't worry guys, I talked to Michael Bay and he says that we are gonna survive the movie. I wouldn't put my hopes on Barricade.
Say hello to your wife for me.
I'm hungry. My head hurts. Derp. It's okay, Barricade. It's okay for me, I'm still alive. But as for you, everyone important to you is dead. Hey, I'm still alive. Everyone important. Hello guys, the Fireball is here. And it's been a while since I haven't done a Wasted Potential video. I think the last one I did was on Jolt. And I mostly do Autobot Wasted Potential because the last time I did a Decepticon Wasted Potential, it didn't get as much traction as some of my other ones got. Heck, Joel got more views than Devastator. So, I'm not expecting this video to do very well. But since a lot of people requested this, I'm gonna do a Wasted Potential on not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 characters. Since 4 Decepticons were wasted in the movie, and since their role was so ridiculously small, I decided to cram all of those 4 in one video. Alright, so I guess the best way to talk about these characters would be to describe them and what they did on the film. We're gonna start with their introductions.
What's up, fellas? Man, I wanna kill you right now. But I'm gonna kill you later. Yeah, we gonna kill you more folks later.
Dreadbot in for bank robbery, aggravated assault, murder, double murder, triple murder, 9 dead. Didn't even take the money.
Nitro Zeus. Baby, free at last. Thank you, Megatron. Free at last. Thank you. I'm gonna miss you, Tim. Thank you for your hospitality, Brad. I know where you live, Enrique. Say hello to your wife for me. Onslaught. You need a bigger door.
Yeah, so you can see most of these Decepticons have personalities, and I was really happy about that. But then things go downhill when Megatron basically goes to the junkyard, and we see Mohawk, Nitro, like scouting the area. Then Hound appears, and he's like, "Come get him, you little glitch!" And Megatron just one-shots Hound. Well, he doesn't kill him, but like, he basically renders him like injured or something. I don't know, you never really get specified how injured Hound was. And later, after dealing with Hound, they followed the remaining Autobots and Kate Jaeger to a deserted town, where they found Squeaks. And Mohawk was like, "Look at that blue beetle." I'm not gonna say that because, you know, trying to keep this PG, earned that sweet YouTube revenue in 4 days, in 2 days, when I'm 18. And basically, Megatron and the other Decepticons are like looking at Squeaks and analyzing him. Like, basically, Squeaks shows them the Decepticon insignia, trying to fool them that he's one of them. But then Isabella shows up and kind of blows the Autobots' cover. And Kate, with no other option, uses the explosives to temporarily immobilize Decepticons. So at this point, Dreadbot, Nitro, and a few others are trying to go after K, but then Grimlock shows up and he B-slaps Barricade and starts eating Dreadbot, and that's the end of Dreadbot, and Megatron tells the Decepticons to retreat. But since only Nitro and Megatron can fly, he pretty much leaves the other Decepticons to fend for themselves. Mohawk gets lost and he gets taken out by Bumblebee. Onslaught gets lost too, but he gets taken out by Drift and Crossers. So that's half our cast already. Later on, we see Nitro and Megatron attack Optimus from behind after he basically loses control. After he is free from Quintessa's control. Nitro remarks to Optimus that he blew his chance to kill Unicron. Megatron then steals the staff from Optimus, and him and Nitro fly off to Stonehenge, where they meet up with Barricade. They're trying to use the staff to bring the big device that's gonna basically transfer Earth's essence onto Cybertron to basically rebuild it. But then they meet up with human resistance. The 3 Decepticons actually do pretty good against the humans, unlike Dark of the Moon, where most Decepticons could barely kill a human soldier. The Decepticons were actually holding their own against the human tanks and countless troops that were surrounding them. So props for that. We later see Nitro in the ignition chamber. He's defending it with Megatron, with the other Decepticon Perloforms. And after a small battle with the Autobots, the ignition chamber kinda starts falling down from Cybertron all the way to Earth. And when BBM manages to grab the staff, Nitro tries to stop her, but he's then shot down by Bumblebee in the head, much like Soundwave. And he basically dies like that. I know, it's so disappointing. He was my favorite Decepticon. He was full of personality, and they just kill him off like that. Ugh, Michael Bay, why? At least we can all, rest easy now, knowing that the next film is not gonna involve Michael Bay. So good job, Hasbro. Good job. Alright, so after talking about what they did on the film, I talk about their appearances in comics and older medias and stuff. But there's not really much to talk about, to be honest. Well, Onslaught has a comic appearance, but the comic's non-canon and kind of ridiculous, so I won't even cover it. But the Decepticons do have some bios, so I'm gonna go over it. So we're gonna start with Nitro. Nitro basically is a merciless hunter. He has vast and formidable tracking skills to locate and capture Megatron's targets. After the death of Shockwave on Earth, he was really angry and now he hates humanity and the Autobots. Unlike Shockwave, who was a hunter and assassin, Nitro is a bit of a stalker. Even when he was in prison, he made it his business to know everything about his human capture.
I know where you live, Enrique. Say hello to your wife for me.
He knows stuff, okay? He's the Decepticon who will get information about you and you won't even know how he got it. So Nitro basically thinks he's some sort of celebrity among the humans. After all, they spend so much effort to keep him in a cell. He must be a big deal on his mind. As a result, Nitro's taken to wearing a gold chain around his neck, because that's what human celebrities seem to do. He's a pimp. He thinks he's so cool. Well, I'm not gonna lie, he's cool, but he thinks he's like the best, the biggest celebrity on Earth, so that's why he needs to, wear gold chains and stuff. I just really like Nitro. He was such a wasted opportunity. As for Mohawk, he was small, slick, really stealthy. He has a knife for a weapon. I don't think we ever saw it with the film, but yeah, that's his only weapon basically. We don't know if he has guns or something like that. He's really loyal to the Decepticons and he's always ready to cause mayhem for Megatron. Onslaught is a genius strategist according to the TRF. He's currently making a new weapon called the Decapitator. We never saw that happening on the film. Onslaught has tactical skills which is really impressive. He's more proud of the fact that he's so much bigger than his peers. In a true Decepticon fashion, he likes to show his brawn by bullying smaller fools. And of course, he's also the leader of the Combaticons, which at this point I guess is non-existent. Then we have Dreadbot. He's basically a Dread, who transforms into some kind of weird band with Christmas lights for whatever reason. But now, I finished talking about the bio. Now I'm gonna talk about what they could have done with those characters instead of having them kill. I'm gonna start with Dreadbot. Alright, so Dreadbot is a Dread. He's a generic character. I don't think he was gonna make it very far from the film. So I would actually say that Dreadbot kind of fulfilled his potential, just getting killed in the movies. I mean, Dreadbot was cool and everything. I guess his design was kind of weird, but it was weird in a cool kind of way. He got killed by Grimlock, and I think that's the only thing that Dreadbot was good in the film, like giving Grimlock something to do, like killing Decepticons and adding Dreadbot to Grimlock's kill count. I think that's all that Dreadbot could have done in the movie. Let's say for whatever reason he manages to survive getting eaten by Grimlock, I will guess I think he will become a background character later in the scenes where the human drones are pursuing Kate, and we could see Dreadbot in the background fighting the Autobots and ultimately getting killed, just to show that there's like stuff going all around the scene right now. It's not just Kate, that there's Autobots fighting and stuff. I don't know. I will say that Dreadbot's ultimate role was just to get killed in the film. So Dreadbot, you actually fulfill your potential, just get killed. Next is Mohawk and Onslaught. So I'm gonna put these two together because basically I think their roles would be really close together. For example, instead of having Mohawk get killed in the film, have him escape and like stay in the shadows, like not draw too much attention to himself, and then have Onslaught fight Drift and Crossers, but with one difference: Mohawk actually going there and intervening. Have Mohawk basically, stab Drift or something, so that way he doesn't cut Onslaught's legs. And since Onslaught's much bigger than Crossers, I think Onslaught will get the upper hand on Crossers. But of course, Mohawk is really small and Drift's an expert samurai, so I'm gonna say that with Onslaught's tactical mind, he will tell Mohawk to retreat because they're not gonna win. Like, they're in a bad position now that Megatron has left them basically. So Onslaught transforms and he leaves the scene with Crossers shooting at him, trying to finish him off, but it's no use. And then Mohawk transforms into his motorcycle and leaves the scene before Grimlock shows up. I think Mohawk will escape because he's a motorcycle and motorcycles are known for being extremely fast. So basically Mohawk and Onslaught survive the scene, but Dreadbot doesn't. Now for the London scene, I will say that Onslaught should be absent for that scene. Instead have Mohawk help Barricade on that scene, like pursue Bumblebee. While Barricade is trying to chase after Bumblebee, Mohawk, since he's much faster, catches up to Bumblebee. He transforms and gets on top of Bumblebee's car mode, and then he just starts, like, I don't know, stabbing it or doing something to it, basically trying to be annoying. And then this forces Bumblebee to transform and throw Kate and BBN to safety. He basically like kills Mohawk, much like Ravage in Revenge of the Fallen. And since he's transformed, Barricade will transform as well and start fighting Bumblebee, and we will get the Bumblebee versus Barricade fight. I will guess, instead of having Mohawk getting killed at the beginning, using Mohawk to set up the Bumblebee and Barricade fight, I think that will have been much better for the fans overall and for the movie. Have a bit more action in there. But if Barricade and Bumblebee do end up fighting, I will say that Barricade will survive because Bumblebee, has to hurry and get Kate and BBN to safety. I would think that much like in the film, Barricade will get shot and he will just lose his balance and end up on the ground, but he will still be alive. Now as for Onslaught, I don't think he will come back, much like Barricade in the Stonehenge scene. He will be with Nitro, Megatron and Barricade fighting against the humans, while Megatron puts the staff at the center of Stonehenge. Now there's two things that could happen here. Since Onslaught cannot fly, I will say that he will, either be absent in the film, much like Barricade after that point, or he will somehow make it to the ignition chamber and help the Decepticons fight the humans and the Autobots. He will die either way. Let's say either an Autobot will kill him, or the ignition chamber will fall down from the skies and kill him because he can't fly. But I will say that since he can't fly, I will say that he will probably wouldn't be present in the ignition chamber. Like, he will be one of the Decepticons that would survive the movie and, you know, use him for a feature film with Bruticus on it. That's just what I would have done with that character. Now for Nitro Zeus, I have no problem with him, like keep everything that's on the film. But in the final battle, when Megatron gets kicked out of the room, instead of staying back and, you know, trying to protect the staff, have him transform and go after Megatron, like try to save him. As soon as BB-8 takes out the staff from the ground, have him transform and leave the area, like have him survive. Just do not get him killed by Bumblebee. That's what I would change. Have Nitro survive the final battle. That way we have Megatron, Barricade, Nitro, and Onslaught. 4 Decepticons to survive the movie. Oh, 5 if you wanna count Berserker, but he's not important. So overall, the Decepticons, I don't think they would have played a major role in the film. The changes I would have done to the movie are very little and, you know, really minuscule. Just save them for the future movies, and of course have Mohawk to set up the Barricade and Bumblebee fight, and have Dreadbot to get killed. Did you guys like the Decepticons on the film? And out of all the new Decepticons, which one was your favorite? You guys know my boy Nitro, he's my favorite. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And whose wasted potential do you want to see next? Anyways, bye guys.